Antony Blinken is denying claims from GOP lawmakers that the Taliban are now holding American citizens hostage in Afghanistan by refusing to allow flights to leave the country.
And joining us now to talk about this is Pennsylvania Congressman and House Foreign Affairs Committee member Dan Meuser. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
All right, sir, so your GOP colleagues, they're calling for accountability over the hostage situation. What does this say about the Biden administration? You know, they're leaving Americans behind enemy lines.
Well, there's a lot to say about it. It's very weak. We are not dealing with this regime in Afghanistan in the proper manner. They are a terrorist organization. They only respond with strength. Why we're not bringing our allies together, why we're not completely focused on getting out our Americans at all costs, why we are not closing the southern border, as well as extreme levels of vetting for those coming into the nation is still bewildering questions. And these are some questions we're going to be asking Antony Blinken in the Foreign Affairs Committee this coming Monday.
I'm looking forward to that, Congressman, and I know he's with the Senate on Tuesday next week. So would you characterize this as a hostage situation in Afghanistan right now?
Well, I think it fits the definition. We had 6 airplanes, and this is definitive. There's no uncertainty about this. As Congressman Mike McCall was expressing over the weekend, there were a number of Americans on that plane, and it was not released because they did not meet the conditions of the Taliban. And the State Department did not weigh in from a position of strength whatsoever. And as well, the 4 family members that made it across land with Mark Wayne Mullen and the work that was done there. I mean, this is amazing. Over the weekend, I received many calls from private groups seeking assistance and ideas on what they can do from private funding to get Americans that they know that are there out.
Congressman, I just want to play you a quick soundbite. Excuse me. This is the way. I think it's totally semantics. These American citizens, 123, they've got the proper documents. They are literally being told they cannot board these 6 planes to fly out. But this is how our White House press secretary is characterizing what's happening at that airport north of Kabul.
We're working to get every single American citizen and any individual who has documentation out of the country. And I think our Secretary of State also spoke to this on the ground in Qatar, where he conveyed that he has not received reports, I'm paraphrasing him, so you should quote him directly, that individuals who have documentation have been stopped. I would also note that some of these charter flights, and I talked about this a little bit, have an assessment of the manifest. We're not on the ground, right? So we don't, while we are in touch with American citizens directly, beyond that, we don't have an assessment of manifest, what security protocols and measures are taken, so the range of issues that we're working through.
What's your response to that, Congressman?
My response to it is what most Americans' response to it is. It just sounds ridiculous. It sounds like an amazing amount of excuse making. Here we had 120,000 because of a date certain rushing to get out, which caused the fatality of 13 of our best and brightest soldiers, brave men and women. And now we've got all this additional protocol where clearly we could bring them into a third country, or there's many other solutions to this. It doesn't make any sense. We are being beholden to a Taliban terrorist organization. If this administration doesn't wake up to that fact and deal with this in the manner that it must be and bring our allies together, create the opportunity for all allies and Americans to get out, and then have an organized sanctions against the humanitarian atrocities that they're committing, we're just kidding ourselves.
Yeah. Congress, in the meantime, the Taliban, they announced an all-male interim government for Afghanistan, made up of many veterans of their hardline rules from the 90s. Also, it's reported the Taliban's interior minister he's on the FBI's most wanted list, and it's reported he's believed to be hiding an American hostage. I mean, we're supposed to be talking with these guys and believing them?
Yeah, this is the new leadership. People who were at Gitmo and exchanged for Bergdahl in that Obama deal that was made. Right. Now they are running Afghanistan, friends of Obama, leaders, founders of the Taliban, those with a $10 million bounty on their heads. And we're being told by the Biden administration, hey, we've done a great job here. We've evacuated and we're talking to the Taliban. Look, Tony Blinken, they had better get serious because the American people want some serious action here.
I just wanted to get, as a member of the House Foreign Relations Committee, General Milley, and I thought this was interesting over the weekend. He said that he thinks Afghanistan will, quote, become an epicenter for international terrorism now that we have left. And my question is, why, we're talking about he's the chairman of the Joint Chiefs. Why did he allow it to go down the way that it's gone down over the last few weeks?
I got to tell you, we've had many meetings, classified and unclassified, along the way. What was deemed unclassified, General Milley initially and others stated how the intel was not there, how they weren't aware this was going to occur. You know, my big question to Secretary Blinken, I haven't yet asked, is, well, what was the likely scenario you were expecting by such a pullout when the intel and the embassy were telling you that the likelihood of a Taliban takeover was there? But now, as of late, General Milley has been telling us of very dire circumstances and potential consequences here. So it's really a shame. At least we're hearing the truth of where the status of where things are. And again, we've just got to deal with it from a position of strength, bring our allies together, deal with this terrorist organization with conditions until they prove otherwise, not the other way around.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we thank you so much for your time, Congressman Dan Meuser. We appreciate it.
Good to see you, sir.